feel like sometimes when I really get momentum building in my business, one of the ways I tend to self-sabotage is by starting to feel this guilt that when I'm focusing on myself and my business, I am somehow not as good of a mother and parent to my children or wife to my husband, and that's just simply not true. Hi, my name's Jessica. We're going to be talking about this in today's video, so if you like videos that reach the subject of parenting or entrepreneurship or art, definitely like and follow for more videos like this. I don't know if you guys have seen the Nike ad that came out, I think over the Super Bowl. It's all of the female athletes saying, you know, you can't, like, no matter what, as women in this world, it feels like we can't win. But I feel like that definitely holds true to how I feel sometimes as trying to balance life as a mother and wife and like employee and business owner. So I was doing some journaling the other day, and I was just kind of thinking about this, and it's like, it's very strange, but I do think that at the end of the day, it is a form of self-sabotage, because why, you know, and also, like, I'm not gonna win either way. Some people want to be stay-at-home moms, and that's awesome, and I think that's great, but there's always going to be people saying like, oh, but you should also work on your career. Like, why would you want to give your career up for your kids? There's going to be people that never take time off, you know, outside of maternity leave for their kids, and people are going to say like, oh, that's so selfish. Like, why wouldn't you want to be there to raise your kids and watch them grow up? So I guess at the end of the day, there is no right answer. There's no one way to do things, and I think you really have to take a second and pause and think about, what do you want as an individual, as a person? Obviously, it's super important to be there for your kids, but that doesn't mean you can't work on a business or developing your career or do other things alongside with raising a family. It's 2025. Everyone can do anything. And there's no right or wrong thing to do it. So yeah, I've been kind of battling this demon and these feelings. In fact, this morning I like woke up feeling really anxious, and I'm like, I kept having these thoughts in my head that I'm like, okay, like, you know, you need to spend more time with your kids, you know, you've been spending so much time on your business. And I think it just comes down to that. Once again, there's a balance for everything, and I can grow my career and I can work on my business alongside with being a mom. It's important that I find balance and boundaries with both of those things, and that I'm not only ever working on one thing too much, because then on the flip side, I take a break from working on my business and I'm spending all my time with my kids. I also feel very unbalanced. I'm like, why am I not spending any time for myself? Like, I need to have my own time. I need to have my own identity. I'm more than just somebody's mom. I'm a person, and I have a lot of things, you know, and needs that I need to meet as well for my own well-being and mental health. And I think it's a fair question, or something that I think about, is what would I want my kids, what would I want for my kids? You know, if my kids, or when my kids grow up, they're going to meet people, they're going to have relationships, and they might choose to have kids also. Do I want them to give up everything about themselves for other people? Like, no. I want them to have balance. I want them to have a loving relationship with somebody. I want them to have loving relationships with, if they decide to have kids, but I also want them to have that time for themselves to work on their career and work on, you know, building something that they're very proud of, that is separate from the relationships and their spouses, something like they can call their own, if that makes sense. Also, I think it's really funny, because I can spend all day doing random chores around my house and not really interacting with my kids, and I don't feel guilty. So I don't really know what that's about, and that's super annoying, because it's like, I'll spend a few hours, maybe even 4 hours on my computer and doing stuff with my business, and I'm like, oh, like, I have to go do something else. I'm not contributing, you know, especially I think right now because my business isn't currently making a ton of money. I'm like, oh, I have to like, do something else. But when I spend an entire day cleaning the house and helping the kids clean their room and cooking dinner and doing all these things and laundry and prep and cleaning, I don't feel guilty. And it's like I still didn't really spend quality time with my kids. So it's like I said, it's hard to win, and it's good to just find a balance that works for you. Spending a couple hours on yourself, and then spending a couple hours doing things for your family, and then also making sure you're spending a couple hours spending that quality time with the people and the loved ones that you care about is more important than dropping one thing for the other. Because there's never going to be a perfect equation, but I definitely feel it when I'm out of balance and I'm spending too much time as mom or too much time on my business. At the end of the day, I would do anything for my kids. They are like numero uno. They're very important to me. But doing anything for my kids doesn't mean that I also simultaneously have to neglect myself. Because at the end of the day, when I grow and I strive and I work towards something that's important to me and it speaks to my soul, my kids have that as a personal example of what life should be like. Life should be about balance. It should be about the relationships you have. It should also be about something that you personally are passionate about and something that you want to build, or just something you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be building. For me, it's building something. For other people, it's just spending time enjoying nature or taking hikes. Like, I want my kids to see firsthand that I'm someone that not only cares about the relationships I have, but I also care about the relationship I have with myself. Because the relationship you have with yourself is probably the most important one that can be very easily neglected when you're too busy caring for other people. So it's good to take time out, an intentional time out, especially as a parent, for yourself. But like I said before, as women, as moms, as people in general, there's no one right way to do things. So sometimes it kind of feels like we can't win either way. Like we're not always going to be, not everyone's going to have our back. Not everyone's going to agree with what we want to do. So we might as well do what we want anyways. As long as it's kind and helpful, we should pursue and do the things that make us happy as individuals. Because that does make an impact for our personal life, for others, taking that time to build or create the life that you want is important. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that makes sense. I've been building a lot of momentum in my business. I've been spending a lot of time and dedication working on it. So I'm getting to the point where I'm having that self-sabotage and that voice in my head being like, why are you spending so much time on your business? What are you doing? You gotta slow down. But the reality is I'm not. I'm spending an appropriate amount of time. I'm balancing it with time with my family and taking care of them and spending time with them as well. So it's all gonna work out great. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.